Hi guys, 6th of November 2020, Friday, first Friday of the month, so it's non-farm payrolls day, but still when it comes to the US, all eyes on the presidential election and the question, Joe Biden and Senate for Democrats? Well, I've seen that this type of the combination could be very negative for the dollar. I see that a little bit differently. But of course, first we have to see who is going to be the winner. So that's the key point. Non-farm payrolls is gonna be like the good excuse to move the market short term. Now, jumping and checking the charts, we start with the Nasdaq. So if you do remember yesterday, congratulations to the short-term traders with the short bias, right? We discussed this latest weakness. If you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely you have to watch yesterday video. We went higher. That was the stop hunt also to what we've seen to the left, right? That's what I've been talking about. So that was the stop hunt here, and short term we discussed this as a possible short entry. So it was possibility to be take out somewhere here on the first move or somewhere closer to the bottom of the first 5-minute trading range. For me yesterday, as I mentioned, I didn't quite look for any kind of the long, but if you were trading long side from the bottom of the first 5-minute trading range, then you were good as well, and congratulations. Medium term, as I mentioned, and long term, I rebuilt my short exposure, and basically we've seen yesterday the rally towards the end of the day, but after market we do have this a little bit of the pullback, and at least what I see here, the first target might be around 11,600, but I'm not gonna be surprised because that was the weakness, and we already, after the break, we did it, right? We already did it. So I'm not gonna be surprised if you are with the one move at some point breaking lower and eventually retesting somewhere next week the consolidation here. That was the half of that consolidation, and that's this week open as well. So overall, when it comes to the Nasdaq, I'm staying short. I already rebuilt my short exposure, but if you do remember yesterday, we discussed that I'm still quite understand that there is a possibility of the stop count based on 1-to-1 with the stop count above the latest high. So that could be the case as well with this 1-to-1 move. Intraday today, very similar to what we've seen yesterday. Some kind of the information in relation to the presidential election and the non-farm payrolls, that could be some kind of the jump to the upside. We have like nice double top. We have like nice double top over here, so maybe some kind of the stop count and this type of the price action could be in place when it comes to the indices. But it's non-farm payroll, so the dollar is going to be monitored very, very closely. Unfortunately, if you remember, we were discussing that I'm waiting below 1790 to try to jump in and be long or try to trade long euro dollar with the 1880, 1920 and 60 as a target. Unfortunately, they didn't quite hit my zone, as you can see. So here in that particular cross, from the short-term perspective, I've been unfilled, right? So it was against the dollar, but overall medium term, I also rebuilt my dollar long exposure via pound, Australian dollar, Kiwi, and dollar yen. I'm screaming right now, that's the truth. We are going to discuss that within the second. But Going back to euro dollar. Going back to the euro dollar. Higher time frame. What is important for the sellers? Not to close above yesterday high, right? So we might see sharper rally towards the non-farm payrolls, right? But what sellers have to do, they have to try to push back the prices and close below yesterday high. If that's not gonna materialize, then guys, what we discussed, the bulls might try to use that weakness, right, after the breakout to push the prices towards even 21.50. So for now, for me, watching carefully euro dollar developments on the euro dollar, and from the intraday perspective, for now, if we are going to see maybe non-farm payroll dip and eventually stop count of that bottom of that consolidation, right? Because like this, and last rally with the triple attack, that could be my setup on the long on this stop count. But also, if we are going to hit 1960 after this type of the action, I might try to look for the short opportunity as well. The next one is the pound. Some update, no change in view. That's why I'm struggling, but based on the range of the 21st, right? If you do remember, I do hold short because of where we are. There is no swing high as what I've been thinking yesterday, but still we are at the top of the range, and looks like more euro dollar action is related to the euro pound, because euro is stronger versus dollar, pound holding below the top of the range, so it could be related to the euro pound action. But the cable, still a seller at the top, and the same from the intraday perspective around non-farm payrolls. So what I'm gonna look for, I'm going to look for any kind of the failure at the upside, because it's very tight consolidation as well here, right? So we retest today the bottom without the stop count. So any kind of the failure around the top with the pulling back, that could be also the setup from short-term perspective, with the possibility to retest the levels close to 130, the psychological 130 level. That's how I see the things related to the cable. I'm struggling on the dollar yen as well, with the prices approaching 103. There was a breakdown. There was during the Tokyo session approach to get back. For now, it's just looks like the retest, and doesn't look good. If that's gonna, if the situation will prevail, probably I'm gonna to be forced to close the medium-term long exposure on that particular clause. The US yields are lower, but holding some kind of the grounds. We will see closer to the non-farm payrolls how the things are going to be. Here I'm going to watch very carefully from the non-farm payrolls perspective, and in case we are going to see any kind of the bounce, right, I want to see how we are going to behave again around 103.70, 103.80. Eventually Doesn't look good for now. And we do have non-farm payrolls, and it's a top event when it comes to the calendar, but we also have Canadian job market. So let's have a look where we are when it comes to the USDCAD, because here we go again, testing 130, very important level, which worked quite nicely a few times already. And yes, I'm going to look for the long exposure here as well, but closer to the data, to the announcement. Okay. And from the intraday perspective, it would be good to see the rally back above 31.20, because as of now it could be one-to-one with the rejection. I would like to see the close above. So from the medium-term perspective, that would be positive when it comes to USDCAD, especially that a little bit weaker indices and the crude, right, could be helping hand for the US dollar versus USDCAD. When it comes to the oil, broke down, now retest of 50% and possibly continue lower. We will see the oil. I'm going to make oil market update over the weekend as usual, guys. So with that being said, I'm dollar long. Looks like I'm wrong, and I'm short on the indices. Some kind of the risk of bias, and there everything is going okay for now. Waiting for the more information as Joe Biden is closer to be the next US president. Well, then it's worth to monitor if the Democrats are gonna be able to take the Senate. Guys, be very careful still. Ahead of the weekend, I would work closely with the lower exposure. That's it from me. Have a good trading day. See you around. Take care and goodbye.